Your baby cries the moment you put them down. You pick them up, and within seconds, silence. You put them down again, and they cry again. You've done this 15 times today. Your back aches, your arms are heavy, and somewhere in the back of your mind, a voice whispers, "Am I spoiling my baby? Am I creating a bad habit? Will they ever learn to be independent?" You've probably heard it from someone, a family member, a neighbor, maybe even a well-meaning friend. Just let them cry it out. Don't hold them so much. You're going to spoil that child, and you almost believed it. But here's what nobody told you. Your baby isn't trying to manipulate you. Your baby isn't being difficult. Your baby isn't developing a bad habit. Your baby is doing something incredibly intelligent, something that is hardwired into their biology at the deepest possible level. And understanding it will change everything about how you see these moments. Let's start where it always starts, with a real moment. It's 2 p.m. You've finally gotten your baby to sleep in their crib after 40 minutes of rocking. You gently lower them down, centimeter by centimeter, holding your breath, praying. Your arms lift away. 2 seconds pass. 3, 4, and then the cry. Not a soft whimper. A full, urgent, desperate cry, as if something terrible has just happened. You look around the room. Nothing has changed. The temperature is fine. There's no noise, no discomfort, no hunger. To your eyes, everything is perfectly safe. But to your baby's nervous system, everything has just gone catastrophically wrong. Most parents believe that a baby who constantly wants to be held is a baby who has been trained to need it. The common belief is that if you hold your baby too much, you are teaching them dependency. You are setting yourself up for a child who cannot self-soothe, cannot sleep alone, cannot function without you physically present. The logic seems reasonable. We train dogs. We train ourselves. Why wouldn't a baby respond to behavioral conditioning? So the advice follows naturally. Put them down. Let them learn. Don't rush in every time they cry. The message is clear. Holding too much is a parenting mistake. That belief is not just wrong. It is the opposite of what the science tells us. Babies do not cry to control you. Babies do not train themselves into needing you. Babies cry because they are wired at the neurological level to seek proximity to a caregiver as their primary survival strategy. This is not a preference. This is not a personality trait. This is a biological imperative that has been shaped by millions of years of evolution, and it is one of the most intelligent systems a human being ever runs. Here is what is actually happening inside your baby's body when you put them down. Within seconds of losing contact with you, your baby's brain triggers a release of cortisol, the primary stress hormone. A 2012 study published in the journal Biological Psychiatry found that infants who were separated from their mothers showed cortisol levels that spiked significantly within minutes, even when there was no other change in their environment. The body doesn't wait for pain or danger. The body responds to the loss of warmth, heartbeat, smell, and pressure, all of which are signals that the caregiver is present and the baby is safe. When those signals disappear, the brain interprets it as a threat, not a mild discomfort, a genuine threat to survival. The amygdala, the brain's alarm system, activates. Stress hormones flood the bloodstream. The baby cries, not because they are manipulating you, because their brain is doing exactly what it was designed to do. Now, consider what happens when you pick them up. Research from Harvard's Center on the Developing Child has shown that responsive caregiving, meaning a caregiver who consistently responds to a baby's distress signals, directly influences the development of the commons, brain's stress response system. When you pick your baby up, you are not just comforting them in the moment. You are sending a signal through their nervous system that says, "The world is safe, your needs will be met, you are not alone." Over time, with consistent repetition, this signal literally shapes the architecture of your baby's developing brain. The prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for emotional regulation, calm, and eventually, independence grows stronger and more connected every time a parent responds warmly to a baby's distress. You are not creating dependency. You are building the neurological foundation from which independence will eventually emerge. There is a concept in developmental psychology called the contact comfort theory, first demonstrated in the 1950s by psychologist Harry Harlow in his famous experiments with infant primates. Harlow showed that when infant monkeys were given a choice between a wire mother that provided food and a soft cloth mother that provided physical contact, the infants overwhelmingly chose contact comfort, even when it meant going hungry. They didn't just want warmth. They needed it. They needed the sensation of physical closeness so deeply that it outweighed even hunger. Harlow's work revealed something that seems obvious now, but was revolutionary at the time. Physical closeness is not a luxury for infants. It is a developmental necessity. The same principle applies to human babies. Your baby's nervous system is so immature at birth. It cannot regulate temperature on its own. It cannot soothe itself. It cannot interpret the world without your presence as a reference point. You are not just their parent. You are their external nervous system. This brings us to the big twist, and it's one that might stop you mid-sentence the next time someone tells you you're spoiling your baby. The babies who are held the most, the babies whose caregivers respond consistently and quickly, are not the babies who grow up most dependent. They are the babies who grow up most secure. A landmark study by Mary Ainsworth in the 1970s, which gave birth to the field of attachment theory, found that infants whose mothers were consistently responsive in the first year of life showed greater independence, greater confidence, and greater emotional resilience at 12 months compared to infants whose needs were met inconsistently or with delay. The secure attachment formed in the first year of life, built through thousands of small acts of holding, responding, and being present, becomes the internal foundation from which a child eventually feels safe enough to explore the world on their own. You cannot give a baby too much security. Security is the launch pad for independence, not the obstacle to it. And here is the deep meaning that lives underneath all of this. Every time you hold your baby, every time you feel the weight of them against your chest and breathe in that smell that no perfume in the world could replicate, something extraordinary is happening. Your baby is not just being comforted. Your baby is learning something that will stay with them for the rest of their life, that the world is safe, that people can be trusted, that when you reach out in need, someone will come. That lesson, learned in the earliest months of life, shapes how a person will navigate relationships, handle stress, and experience love decades from now. The holding is not just physical. It is the first language in which you are teaching your child who they are and what the world is. You are teaching them, you matter, your needs are real, and you are not alone. That is not spoiling. That is the deepest form of parenting there is. A soft note here, and it matters. If you have a baby who almost never cries to be held, a baby who seems unusually passive or quiet when left alone, A baby who doesn't seem distressed by separation, that is not a sign of a good baby or an easy temperament. That can sometimes be a sign that a baby has stopped signaling because previous signals went unanswered too often. The silence is not contentment. It can be withdrawal. If you notice this pattern, give that baby extra physical closeness, extra warmth, extra skin-to-skin time. Respond, reach back. It is never too late to begin building that foundation. And the nervous system is remarkably responsive to warmth, even after periods of disconnection. So the next time your baby reaches for you, the next time they cry the moment you step away, the next time you feel the pressure of someone's opinion telling you you're doing it wrong, remember this. You are not their habit. You are not their weakness. You are their safety system, and every time you hold them, you are doing more for their brain, their future, and their ability to eventually stand on their own than any amount of training ever could. If this changed the way you see these moments with your baby, share this with a new parent who needs to hear it, and tell me in the comments, what does your baby do the moment you pick them up? I want to know.